Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about logarithms. Now logarithms are just the inverse operation of exponential functions, and we've been studying exponential functions. Consider the function y equals 2 to the x. Here's an exponential function with base 2. 2 is being raised to a variable power, and as that variable changes, so like from 2 to the 0 power, which we know is equal to 1, 2 to the 1 power, which is equal to 2. 2 squared we know is 2 times 2, which is 4, and 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 times itself 3 times, which is equal to 8, so on and so forth. These are exponential functions. Well, today we're going to look at logarithms, and logarithms are simply the inverse of exponential functions. In other words, we're going to be able to determine the power in which we raise a particular base to in order to generate another number. So if I were to ask you, what power do I raise 2 to in order to get 4, you would say, well, that's 2 times itself 2 times, or in other words, that power would be 2. Before we go, there's a few terms that you should know. A logarithm, which is what we're going to be studying today, is simply the power that we raise a base to in order to produce another number. So we just talked a little bit about it in terms of the base 2. Let's talk about it in terms of a generic base b to the x power. So b to the x power is equal to y. Now, if I wanted to find the inverse of that, or generate the logarithm, then that's going to be log base b of some number y is equal to x. So you can see how these are all related to each other. This x here is the result of me taking the logarithm of some base b. You see where that base fits in? And when that base b is raised to that power x, it produces this number y. And you can again see where that y fits in here to that logarithm as well. Now, there's such thing as a common log. A common log is log base 10, and engineers love to use this. In fact, you'll note on your calculator there is a log button. When you press this button, it is going to generate a log base 10. And it's common because we don't have to write that 10 in there. So whenever we just see log without a base, you can assume that it's log base 10, a common log. There's another type of log called the natural log. Now this is the logs of base e. So in other words, this log base e, now this e is again a great number that mathematicians love to use, and we don't typically write it as log base e. We write it as the natural log, which is ln. And again, you'll see that this has this function here is also a button on your scientific calculator.